From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature.
Welcome to Byan Ardis Tiny House Village. It is Friday, June 5th. So we're actually operating today. If you look at the numbers, June is a 6, the 5th, and that's 11, so that's a 2. And then the 1 of 2026, we're on a 3 today. So I always look at the number 3 as like a triangle. It tells us of 3 sides of geometry. And I like to think of the heart torus and the sacred geometry that's running around inside of us. So, this is a great day for introducing the solutions for your inflammation that occurs in this amazing temple that is circulating blood and all kinds of things inside. So number 3 is our rotating number today. I hope all of you are well. Buenos dias, bonjour, all those good languages all over the world. We are truly a global platform. So with that in mind, I'm so excited about Michael Jackson conversation. It's still going on. They haven't even introduced that movie to Japan, which is one of his largest fan bases in Japan. And that movie has already reached 65 million, I believe, views or something like that. It's headed for, no, I think it's at 85. Anyway, 84 million is the number for Michael movie. What's interesting to me is that Netflix put out a documentary of sorts that is causing people to cancel their Netflix. I've seen, I spend a lot of time in the morning watching, or not in the morning, in the evening watching YouTube videos, and there are people posting their anger at Netflix and canceling their subscription. By the way, I didn't know Netflix was owned by BlackRock, which is one of the largest corporations who are trying to change our lifestyles. Anyway, people are angry. Netflix made a big mistake doing that because the people who've watched it said, that's another hit piece on the legendary Michael Jackson. So we all know, if you've been around for a while, we know the full story of Michael Jackson. We know the dark parts. We know but one thing that sticks out in my mind, and I hopefully yours, is that when you go into the Den of Vipers, which is where Michael was because of his success, his purchase of other people's music, mafia, snipe vipers come in and they will destroy you because that's what they do. Just the way it is. So anyway, I'm going back to see Michael again just to promote the numbers. I enjoyed the movie and I'm going to go back again. I only paid $6 during the week, so that's the best time to go during the week. And I'm going to go back again just to promote the numbers because we're making up for the harassment and the takedown they tried, and and now he's been gone. His body's been gone, and he's more popular than ever. I love it. The universe has wink in their eye. So welcome to the village. Let me just give you a little taste of my journey over the last, it's been more than 5 years now, but this is what I filmed in my journey to become smaller in my house.
The kookaboot and ha. The kookaboot and ha. And ha kabos and this order corona cookroos curdo and ha. The kookaboot and ha. The kookaboot.
And I just love the music because it gets me moving and ready to move these joints and do what we do. One of the things about pain, I just love the beat of that music. One of the things about pain that we're talking about, and Dr. Ardis, he did some research. I'm going to show you Dr. Ardis and his research on this issue, which is 2 hours. I'm not going to show the 2 hours, but I get emails from him and texts from him whenever he puts up a new episode. So that's what we're sharing with you today. 2 hours of conversation, teaching about pain and inflammation, drugs and side effects and all that. And I'm just praying my Wi-Fi works better today. I contacted my son about this Wi-Fi problem I've had for the last 2 shows, and I hope he corrected it by giving me more information. I have a better Wi-Fi connection. I think he has like 3 different sources because he works at home. Anyway, I'm just hoping that everything runs smoothly today. Let's see. My sister. So we're going to go forward after we do our joint rolling with a lot. Get your pen and pencils out because you're going to be surprised, I think, at one nature source for pain relief that I hadn't even thought about until I watched Dr. Ardis' show. I was like, I thought I knew all the best, at least the top 3 answers to relieving pain. And he brings in the first thing he brings in, I'm like, oh, I hadn't really thought about that. But he does the research and backs it up, not only with science, but papers from like Harvard. He's bringing in this too. I'm not going to play the whole 2 hours, but I will give you his website, which you can go to and listen to the whole teaching. 2 hours, I'm telling you, 1 hour, 50 some minutes. 1 hour, 50 some minutes. So I hope that you'll pay attention and really share this, because the type of things that he shares about side effects alone, oh my goodness, are just mind-blowing. What he shows about side effects alone are mind-blowing. So just tune in, and we'll be giving you all that we can to help your life go better. So today, every morning, Friday, if you're new, we do joint rolling. We do the joint rolling, not this kind, because we did that for years. And I'm not ashamed to admit we rolled a lot of joints, burnt a lot of nails in my teens. And yeah, teens. I started smoking weed, by the way, when I was like 15 or 16 years old in Chicago, Illinois. Had fun, fun, fun. And I tell this with not pride, but my girlfriend, we had a club in high school where my girlfriend would go to her uncle's. He had a stash of marijuana in a jar in his kitchen. She would go and get a stash, and we would pack it up in the little manila envelopes and sell it from our high school locker. People hardly can believe that I was doing this type of activity, but we had fun doing it. Crazy, crazy. Woo! Grace. I just think grace kept me from going to jail on so many things. But joint rolling today at my age, I'm so happy and thrilled that I have evolved and matured, and I no longer need this. And that's one of the reasons. I think people who are in pain, this is one of the tools they use to relieve their pain. No judgment whatsoever. Do whatever you need to do to find peace, because that's what we're all about. The monks marched for 200. They marched for over 111 days for peace. It's important. So we just want you to be aware of the side effects, because the side effects can kill you. And that's why we're bringing this information to you today. So let us take a deep breath in today together, because your breath is the most important tool for pain relief, in my opinion. Number one is deep breathing. People walking around in pain and on the streets taking drugs are not breathing deeply, I assure you. And if you can practice this, breathing in every day, every morning, first thing in the morning when you open your eyes, you should be taking a deep breath of gratitude. I'm still here. I'm still alive. My partner, who passed away last October, my significant other, he woke up after a morphine rest, and he told his daughter, he asked his daughter, "Why am I still here?" Because he was in heavenly, peaceful place with that morphine. And he woke up and said, "Why am I still here?" And then he probably closed his eye. And then a day later, spirit left. He said, "I'm out of here for good now, son. I'm not going to wake up into this madness." Now, this is someone who, Vietnam veteran, many tragedies, even his childhood, his parents gave him away. He was an orphan of type of pain, emotional pain. That's why we have to talk today about emotional pain as well. And sometimes no drug will ever relieve that, except morphine. And then you're on your way out of here, which is relief. Pain, no more pain. Breathe in. Let us enjoy this moment while we're here on this planet with breath work. Breath work. In and out. Let's do a few of those as we prepare to move with the heart torus. The heart torus is a sacred geometry movement that goes on every time you're alive, basically. When you're alive, and if you're doing deep breathing, your heart torus energy is just swirling around and touching other people at the same time. So we're going to put that video on while we do our regular joint rolling of the neck, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. And those are all portals, cosmic portals, which I learned from my synchronistic sister, Tawida. And so we are really in harmony and alignment with the Creator when we roll in our joints, because we're activating the energy from the cosmos that is helping us live on this planet every day. The more you activate your pineal gland, your pituitary gland, with your breath work and with music and sounds, the more you're connecting with the cosmos and all the angelic forces, ancestors, creators, energy, and vibration of love. So let's get busy. I'm going to play the Heart Taurus to get us going, and we're going to roll with the geometry of the Heart Taurus. This area is all right, let's roll the shoulders. Look at that energy. Do this movement. Wrist. Back and forth. And then let's just do some swimming in the sea of energy. Using up our back. Exercise. So joint rolling involves improving your circulation. Increasing your lymphatic drainage your muscles. Yes, yes, yes. The more you move these body parts, the more the let us energy. We are magnificent, energetic beings. Let me start that again. I want it to end. You know what? Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Rolling. And beautiful blue sky today. And let's get on our back. Listen, remember, if you have trouble rolling, you just want to lift and lift and spine. Ooh, that feels so good. How are you? Let's bring your hands together. Stir up some heat. Stir up some heat. And we're going to activate your vagus nerve runs from the brainstem and breathe and release. Breathe in and exhale. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. And we'll put the torus away and squeeze and release. Breathe in. And feel the energy move all through your body, because the vagus nerve is the trunk of your body, the tree of life running, the trunk of the tree of life. And then it branches out all over to your feet. So that's another tool for pain relief, actually. When you're in pain, think about breath work to get the inflammation down. Breath work takes your mind off the pain, and then reach back there and squeeze that vagus nerve and send some love to the inflammation area wherever you are. How are we feeling now? I hope that you're having a better morning because you are paying attention to your body, giving it what it needs. Massage. And so we're going to take a short break while I go to my studio, and let me just play some music to help you prepare and feel balanced right now. We want you to feel balanced and in peace. So we'll be
No more chasing was never mine. No more racing just to be time. I found a rhythm I can call my own, a quiet drum carved in bone. Peace within, that's where I begin. No need to prove, no need to win. In every breath I learn again to live, to love, to just remain.
And as he said, with every breath, we learn to live, to love, and be in peace within. So it's the breath, the breath, the breath. Keep that in mind. That's what we do here in the village. We practice deep breathing in every way, every way. So today, it's all about pain, inflammation, drugs. There are tons and tons of drugs that Big Pharma has produced for your pain. And believe me, they're creating some of the pain. It's like problem, reaction, solution. They bring problems for us that create first mental, emotional pain. That's where it really starts. Is mental, emotional pain. And then we become anxious, frustrated, angry. And guess what? The body responds to frustration, anger, resentment, all that with pain and inflammation. Your body becomes inflamed. The more we hold on to frustration, anger, resentment, the body, what happens is the body tightens up with those emotions. Instead of being relaxed with love and forgiveness and peace, anger brings tension in the body. Frustration brings tension in the body. And unforgiveness brings you holding on to unforgiveness for a long period of time, inflammation, because the body is not relaxed. It's tense. The body is tense. So that's why we want to talk about inflammation drugs, because they have tons as the problem, reaction, solution method of operation that our corporations are running on to make profits. So I'm here to share the truth. Trigger warning here. I should announce that before every show, because I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me, Yah. Yah has told me to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me. And sometimes that upsets people. I don't apologize anymore, because what our Heavenly Father is trying to do is help us let go of triggers, let go of reactions to triggers. I have gotten triggered several times in the last month, I would say, by people who I recognize have strong narcissistic energy. For one, they want to control everything. And so I'm learning to, I'm recognizing, it's like a red flag goes, that feels like control, too much control. Take a deep breath. So it's like, don't react. Just say, okay, is that what we're doing today? Thank you very much. I don't want to participate in your controlling energy, whatever. I don't say that way, but I'm like, I have other things to do right now. So I'm going to pass on this conversation or this moment or whatever. And then you move on with your day and take some deep breaths and forgive, because we can't really change people who display strong narcissistic energy. That's something that only, in my opinion, the universe will bring them circumstances that will help them shift or not. And then we go on, right? So, Doc, let me get to our show, because I want to share a lot of what Dr. Ardis is saying. It's so valuable. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Byan Ardis is a chiropractor. He was a chiropractor. He had a chiropractic practice for many, many years. I interviewed him on my Blog Talk show. It's probably been about 2-3 years maybe. And that interview was almost 2 hours, because he had a lot to say. And he does his research. So we want to start out with him explaining, he's going to go through some of the many drugs out there and their side effects. And then I'm going to fast forward to, I think it's at the hour mark, where he starts to talk about natural solutions. But you got to hear or I recommend you listen to all the side effects that some of these very Motrin, over the counter, whatever, all the side effects. One surprise was a side effect of Alzheimer's, taking a drug. My dad, this guy behind me, I'm promoting his book more lately because he lived to be 95 years old, rarely took medication at all. He would call me and say, give me the side effects on this drug they just gave me. Because the older you get, the more they're going to bring out the prescription pad. And he would call me and say, what's the side effect? And I would look it up. And, oh, no, I don't want to take that. You put it away. You do something else. We'd figure out a natural pain reliever. So 95 years he lived on the earth. And I wrote his book that I'm going to promote to you later because I got a phone call from a City Books who wants to bring his book out again for $2,000. They want me to pay them to promote my book. Whatever. Anyway, I digress. This man rarely took pain medication, but he learned how to use natural remedies. So let's get into Dr. Ardis. This is his episode that he just put out a couple of days ago, the 3rd, actually 2 days ago, and it's 2 hour and 51 minutes long. I am top 20 drugs, pain and inflammation. I got so much out of this that I had to share it with you. So let's get into it, and I will be pausing it just to re-emphasize or add to what he's already.
Commonly prescribed drugs to the majority of the population of the world, which are drugs for pain and inflammation. So what I'm going to be diving into is there was an article published for 2026. What were the most prescribed drugs for 2025, the year total in America? So I wanted to know, well, what are all of them? And then we are going to focus on specific drug categories that make up these 20 most prescribed drugs. So that's what we're going to be diving into today, are the pain and inflammation prescribed drugs. What you need to know about those drugs, what are some of the risks of those prescription drugs for pain that so many millions of people suffer from. And then we're also going to dive into what are the natural published antidotes to pain. Some of the most incredible and some of the most elusive, and those you probably never heard of because they're not popular or common or don't want to be stated. But we're going to show you the research on some of the most incredible natural remedies for pain and inflammation anywhere in the entire body, including natural solutions to pain from molars being removed. Wait till we show you what was an antidote to stop all of the major horrific pain associated with extractions of molars, and at a period of 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 24 and 48 hours after the extraction, which is some of the most painful periods for anybody. Wait till you see what was found to almost negate all of that pain.
And I have met and heard of several individuals who started their opiate addiction because of a tooth extraction. So he's right on target with that. It's a major beginning of opiate and pain medication addiction is tooth extraction. So listen.
If it can do that, what can it do for your joint pain, muscle pain, fibromyalgia pain? So that's what we're going to be diving into. Pain and inflammation drugs, and the most common of the top 20 prescribed drugs that are specifically for pain. Welcome. If this is your first time, we're excited that you're here. What I'm going to be doing is walking you through a PowerPoint, and here is the PowerPoint. I'm going to walk you through this. If this is getting too long, too many notes you're taking personally in your mind or on a notepad, and you're like, I just wish I had this PowerPoint. The PowerPoint is available, this whole PowerPoint, for free to download at the Dr. Ardis Show. Go to the resources tab, scan this QR code, put in your email. This is how we notify you of all of our weekly podcasts and interviews that I do on some health and wellness topic of any kind. When you go to the resources tab of the Dr. Ardis Show, look up the PowerPoints. They're in order, as I do these once a week on almost any topic you can think of, from gout to diabetes to lupus to lymphedema, and now the top 20 prescribed drugs for pain. So this article I've referenced in the previous podcast as I dove into some of the high blood pressure drugs and some of the cholesterol drugs that are on this list. Those podcast PowerPoints have already been produced and are at the Dr. Ardis Show. All right. So on the list of the 20 most prescribed drugs in the year 2025 by percentage of total, gabapentin is number 5. Gabapentin is used for seizures and pain. Gabapentin is the 5th most prescribed drug in the United States. Now I'm showing you the entire list here, and we are starring the ones that are for pain and inflammation. This is hydrocodone, is the 14th most prescribed drug in America in 2025. It is also for pain and inflammation. And prednisone was number 17 of the top 20 drugs prescribed in 2025. So let's start with gabapentin. And remember, if anybody you know lives with any pain scenarios or conditions, and they're on any of these drugs and any of this information I'm about to show you that is published by the medical profession, if I show you something and it bothers you, remember, you can download this entire PowerPoint, take this link, share it with a loved one if you know they're on gabapentin, hydrocodone, or prednisone, or ibuprofen, or Motrin, or Advil, because we're going to cover all of those today, NSAIDs specifically, which you can get over the counter, not as a prescription. All right, so here's gabapentin. It is approved, obviously, this is per the Cleveland Clinic, approved to prevent and control partial seizures, relieve post-herpetic herpes neuralgia after shingles, and moderate to severe restless leg syndrome. Remember, this is number 5 most prescribed drug in America in 2025. All right. Gabapentin is a prescription medication known as a gamma. GABA stands for gamma aminobutyric acid. Butyric acid is why butter is called butter. Aminobutyric acid analog. That's what GABA stands for. GABA reduces the excitability of nerve cells or neurons in the brain. Gabapentin mirrors the effects of GABA, calming excited neurons or nerve cells. Gabapentin is in a class of medications called anticonvulsants. Another word for convulsant is seizure. So anticonvulsant or antispasm, anti-seizure drug. What is it approved for by the FDA? To prevent and control partial seizures, to relieve nerve pain following shingles in adults. Shingles, they say, is a painful rash that develops. The virus that causes chickenpox stays dormant in a portion of your spinal nerve root called the dorsal root ganglia, and then you'll get shingles show up on the skin wherever that nerve goes to the skin from the spinal dorsal root ganglion on your spine. It's also approved gabapentin to treat moderate to severe primary restless leg syndrome. All right, Cleveland Clinic. Now we're going to dive into hydrocodone, which is number 14 on the list. Hydrocodone, acetaminophen capsules or tablets. Hydrocodone and acetaminophen combine to treat moderate pain. It works by blocking pain signals to your brain. You can take this capsule or tablet by mouth with a glass of water as directed. What is this medication? Acetaminophen, hydrocodone, okay. It treats moderate pain. Prescribed and other pain meds have not worked or cannot be tolerated. It works by blocking pain signals in the brain. This medication is a combination of acetaminophen and an opioid. You haven't heard there's an opioid crisis in America for decades? Here's hydrocodone, which has opioids in it. These are some of the common brand names, and I'll just call out some of them, and I'm not going to read them all, but some of the brand names of hydrocodone are Lorcet, Lortab, and Vicodin. These are probably the most commonly that you guys have heard of brand names of hydrocodone. Now, let's stay with the Cleveland Clinic because they're going to now define what prednisone tablets are. It's a steroid medication that treats conditions like asthma, allergic reactions, arthritis, which by definition means pain in a joint, which is a pain syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, and adrenal, blood, or bone marrow conditions. It decreases inflammation, slows an overactive immune system, or replaces cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that helps your body respond to stress, injury, and illness. I'm not going to read what it all says, but it works by decreasing inflammation, slowing down an overactive immune system, as I just said, or replacing cortisol normally made in the body. Cortisol is a hormone that plays an important role in how the body responds to stress, illness, and injury. It belongs to a group of meds called steroids.
Now, let me pause here because I keep hearing him say hormones, signals, and nerve cells. So in my brain, I'm thinking communication. There's a communication energy going on with pain and drugs, and suppressing reduces these drugs reduce the excitability nerve cells. So the nerve cells are like your communication wire, like a Wi-Fi system that we don't see. But those nerve cells, like we talked about with the vagus nerve, tree of life, sending messages out from the command center here. So this is why I talk about EFT, emotional freedom techniques, because all that what he's talking about is a company using witchcraft. Basically, if you look in the book of Revelation, what pharmaceutical corporations are doing is practicing witchcraft. Revelations, I believe it's 18, says they were deceived by witchcraft, and they, in the Greek it's pharmakeia, which translates into modern day drugs, period. So what they're doing is trying to change your body's chemistry, the inflammation, by putting in substances that they've created in the lab, like the witch. And they've taken it from nature. I don't know if most of you probably know, most drugs produced by pharmakeia are taken out of nature, but they're put in a processing vault and changed totally into a dead substance that has chemicals that do what he's talking about, side effects. So my point at this point of his teaching is that this is about your nerve cells and your brain sending signals to your body that you're inflamed. And so what do you feel? Discomfort. And so one of the things that EFT does, EFT can shift the signals that you're sending from your brain to your body and even your microbiome, all of that, all this communication. Because what did he say? Cortisol hormones are produced. Hormones are messengers in the body that are moving around to tell you what's going on. And if you're listening to your body, oh, I have pain in my leg. What's this pain? So EFT is tapping. If you've been here long enough, EFT, emotional freedom techniques, help you disrupt the signals that you're getting that are causing you discomfort or pain of any kind, emotional, whatever. So it's a matter of introducing the idea that you're going to take control, basically, of this feeling you're having by tapping on the side of your hands and then going to the meridian points on your face, tapping, saying, even though I have this pain, I love myself. A lot of pain, inflammation is about, I don't love myself. I'm not listening to my body. I hate that person. I am not going to forgive that person, and blah, 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 blah. And all this low frequency energy is stirring around in your body and say, oh, I can't handle this cortisol. Produce some cortisol, please. Help this person. Help them. And then inflammation comes in, and then your body's like, I'm just going to let you have all this hormonal activity, and then you figure out what to do with it. And then Dr. Ardis is trying to help us realize going to the pill is going to produce even more conflict in the body. So let me go back to his teaching, which I think is very important.
Prednisone does. Common brand names of prednisone are Deltazone, Predone, Steripred, and Steripred DS.
So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And this is just an introduction because he goes through so many drugs. Again, the drardisshow.com, you can get this full hour and 51 minutes teaching if you want. Let me go all the way up to 58 minutes where he's going to talk about the first major solution to pain, which I was like, okay, I hadn't thought about that, but let's listen up here. Let's see. 58, I think that's where he starts. 58. Let's go a little behind. Okay, he starts around there. Let's go.
Pennsylvania girl developed a seizure disorder caused by the oxygen deprivation she suffered when she was 3 years old. Unfortunately, most anti-seizure medications can trigger TENS, this death of your skin peeling off. Read it again. Unfortunately, most anti-seizure medications, can you name any? Keppra? Can you name any others? Most anti-seizure medications can trigger TENS, so she has difficulty controlling the seizures. Because she can't take those drugs for her seizure, because they can cause your skin to peel. Because of the damage done to her reproductive organs, she will never be able to bear children, nor have normal sexual relations. Children's Motrin did that. Both cases placed 100% of the liability on the Motrin manufacturer, saying the drug did not provide adequate warnings. When prescription Motrin was approved by the FDA in 1974, the label did reference TENS, the death of your skin peeling off. However, the non-prescription labels don't carry that warning. In 2000, many labels for over-the-counter anti-inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen added allergy alerts for shock, hives, and swelling. In 2005, the FDA recommended those drugs also add warnings of skin reddening, blisters, and rash. However, they did not specifically mention TENS or Stevens-Johnson syndrome. This is Harvard Health. Common painkillers boost the risk of repeat heart attacks. This is Harvard Health Publishing. You ever heard of Harvard? We're not talking about the Dr. Ardis show, some tinfoil hat conspiracy theory website. No, this is Harvard. They published this study. Common painkillers boost risk of repeat heart attacks. What are they talking about? This is what they found. After 1 year, those who used an NSAID were about 60%. We're talking ibuprofen, Advil, Motrin, were 60% more likely to have died during each year of the study than those who did not use an NSAID. Wake up, people. Do you want me to read that again to you? I want to read it. After 1 year, those who used NSAIDs, Advil, Tylenol, Motrin, Midol, those who used those were about 60% more likely to have died during each year of the study than those who did not take Advil, Motrin, Midol, or ibuprofen.
So I really think that emphasizes the fact that you don't want to do this long term for sure. Short term, maybe, if that's what you decide you need, maybe short term. But if you continue to use these drugs for your relief long term, let's just put you out there with all the zombies out there who are addicted to opiates and just have a big party with them, because there's so many people addicted to opiates stronger than this, and they're on their way out. I see people who are addicted to opiates in a way where they're shooting it through their veins. They're in so much emotional pain. It's mostly emotional pain. The physical pain has just manifested because they haven't dealt with the emotional stuff. So he's going to get into now, I think at this point, some natural relief.
I don't even want to go to the next slide. I want to read it again. After 1 year of using Midol, Motrin, Advil, ibuprofen, those who took those NSAIDs were about 60% more likely to have died during each year of the study than those who didn't use an NSAID. During the first year, there were 20 deaths for every 100 people among the NSAIDs, compared to 12 deaths per 100 people among non-users. During year 5, there were 9.5 deaths for every 100 NSAID users and only 6 deaths for every 100 non-NSAID users. What do I recommend for pain and inflammation that doesn't kill you, cause heart attacks, or your skin to peel off, or to go blind? This is a science summary. We're going to throw a few of these slides into this presentation. You haven't seen these before. Just a summary of what I'm about to show you in these research studies. We're going to first talk about vitamin D and pain. Out of this research study, these are some of the science summary quotes from the research study I'm about to walk you through. Vitamin D receptors are present in almost all cells of the immune system, including B cells, T cells, natural killer cells, dendritic cells, and monocytes. Upon binding vitamin D regulates the expression of genes involved in immune responses, including cytokines, which create inflammation and pain. Vitamin D modulates or improves the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines while promoting anti-inflammatory cytokines. It also affects the differentiation and maturation of immune cells. Vitamin D is needed for the maturity and growth and life cycles of your immune system cells. The ones named above, B cells, T cells, natural killer cells,
So, what are we talking about here? Vitamin D. The major source is what? Sunshine, sunlight. I always think about when I go to the beach. I love going to the beach, and when you just sit there and watch people half naked walking around in the water on sand, they're all so happy. I've never, ever, ever, ever seen anybody looking depressed at the beach because they're all there to get some sun and water and sea and have fun. And so it becomes very obvious the benefits of being in the sun, especially when you're at the beach, because people they're getting more sun on their skin. Nobody's walking around with a turtleneck and jeans on, okay, at the beach. They're half naked so they can get more sun on their skin. And there's nothing but happiness. The environment at the beach is just so joyful and happy and beer drinking and whatever and eating and just joy, joy, joy. So he's presenting here scientific evidence of vitamin D. And I think more of you probably are very aware that if you go outside, if you're depressed, in pain or anything, once you go outside and that sun hits your face, voila, your energy changes, your body responds to the connection of light, sunlight on your skin.
Dendritic and monocytes. By inhibiting NF beta and MAPK inflammatory pathways, vitamin D reduces the expression of all inflammatory genes, highlighting its therapeutic potential in autoimmune and inflammatory diseases, including lupus. This is what science says. This is not what Dr. Ardis says. I'm just reading it to you with a little bit of sarcasm thrown in there because no one's telling you this stuff. Most rheumatologists aren't telling lupus patients vitamin D is great for you. No, it's methotrexate, Plaquenil, and hydroxychloroquine or Plaquenil.
And unfortunately, Michael Jackson was diagnosed with lupus. And of course, at this point, we know why. The stress that soul, I'm going to say soul, endured was unbelievable. The more I'm reading a book about written by his brother that I got from the library. I don't buy books anymore. And it's amazing that he lived to be 50, really. And I think it's all because divine assignment had him assigned to 50 years on this planet. That's enough. You've paid the price. Now you can go, and now he's back again. Hallelujah.
Is hydroxychloroquine, prednisone, methotrexate, and Plaquenil. Those are the three most commonly given to lupus patients. All right, so let's dive into the study. The anti-inflammatory roles of vitamin D for improving human health. All right, we're talking about pain and inflammation drugs, the three of the most commonly prescribed 20 drugs in total in America last year for pain. This is the anti-inflammatory roles of vitamin D in autoimmune diseases. All of you put on prednisone, hydrocodone, gabapentin. Studies show that individuals with autoimmune diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus, ankylosing spondylitis, psoriatic arthritis, Sjogren's disease, and inflammatory muscle pain syndromes, inflammatory bowel disease, and Th2 differentiation is promoted in CD4 T cells producing interleukin 4 factor alpha, TGF tumor growth factor beta 1, interleukin 6, and alpha 1 col 1 was significantly decreased following EDTA treatment. Every single one of those things I just read are inflammation markers in the body for arthritis patients and sufferers, autoimmune disorders. EDTA significantly decreased each one of those, leading to less pain and inflammation in the body. And then I quote the research also. EDTA treatment increased antioxidant enzyme activity, including ceruloplasmin. Ceruloplasmin went up by 62%. And if you paid attention to my signaled inflammatory markers, and then bacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer effects. And this is just a graphic displayed out of the research study. Licorice is antiviral, anti-allergy, antibacterial, anti-cancer. At the top of the screen, you're going to see two abbreviations in this paragraph and in this research study. G and GA. Glycyrrhizin and glycyrrhizin acid are what they stand for. Tums and Rolaids, wormwood, anybody? flatulence, corrected with wormwood, gastric pain, anemia, anorexia, esophageal bowel syndrome with irritation, weak memory, tremors, depression, epilepsy, chronic fever, skin diseases, gout, and rheumatism, all improved with wormwood.
Now, if you are familiar with parasite or herbs, wormwood is definitely a anti-parasitic herb, along with other black walnut and cloves. So when he mentions wormwood as a anti-inflammatory or pain reducing, when you get rid of the parasites, those little critters are always contributing to inflammation. So once you get rid of the parasites, you'll have fewer problems with inflammation and pain, is what he's indicating here. And even there's so much information out now about fenbendazole and ivermectin as healing or helping with cancer patients and healing, because those are anti-parasite drug or formulas or drugs, whatever. So if you're going to take any type of pharmaceuticals, it should be those that'll help you get rid of parasites like fenbendazole and ivermectin. And that's very, very popular right now on Facebook groups who talk about cancer and what their treatments are. So here he's just mentioning wormwood, and I'm just speeding it up a little bit to give you an idea of some of the natural remedies he's mentioning for pain relief and anti-inflammation.
Or 2, following supplementation with intakes of vitamin C that would eventually result in plasma blood saturation. And they say here, that's 200 milligrams or more per day. That is way less than I recommend for vitamin C and way less than Linus Pauling. But I want to remind you here, for pain syndromes, pain due to vitamin C deficiency can be completely resolved within 1 to 2 weeks if you just take more than 200 milligrams of vitamin C a day. So if you want to know if your pain, your fibromyalgia, your osteoarthritis in your knees is being caused by vitamin C deficiency alone, all you got to do is do a study on yourself for 2 weeks. Take more than 200 milligrams of vitamin C every day for 2 weeks. If your pain goes away, it was never a syndrome. You just had pain because you were low in vitamin C. You have scurvy.
So I'm going to pause Dr. Ardis at this point. Again, you can watch this whole 1 hour, 51 minute teaching at the drardisshow.com. So let me just mention a few other, let's see, we've got a comment here. Great show. This is Imani. Hi, Imani. Dr. Imani is going to be on my show next Wednesday. And I had a beautiful, beautiful conversation with her, my sister. I'm going to call her my sister because that woman and I are like this now. We are very much agreement in the path we're on to help people heal and balance their body. So thank you for joining us this morning, Dr. Imani, and I look forward to us getting together next Wednesday on my vegetable soup show. We're talking about having her come on, and then I'm going to go on her show. But thank you, and thank you. I thank Dr. Ardis, people like him who I've been following for so many years, who have educated me, and now I share it with you. His solution, as he just mentioned, vitamin C is the easiest, the cheapest maybe way to deal with your inflammation. If I had a friend send me a report on the microbiome connection. If you've been following me a while, you know the microbiome is one of the most important areas of your body to pay attention to feed, to build up. And my friend, Dr. Sherry Ashragi, she's a therapist, sent me this very interesting research on the microbiome and how vitamin C, they found bifidus. Bifidus is a type of microbiome, or no, it is a type of probiotic that is in all kinds of kefir, yogurt, probiotic supplements. And this research was showing that when vitamin C was used with the bifidus, that it enhanced the performance of the probiotic, your body, everything. Vitamin C and bifidus. Who would have thought? So I was at Sprouts shopping, and I'm always looking for coconut kefir or yogurt. I'm trying to stay away from dairy. I'm doing a real cleanse right now. And I picked up this jar of coconut kefir with vitamin C in it. I'm like, wow, that just looks so interesting. And it was expensive, but you only take like a tablespoon. No, I think it's 4 tablespoons per serving. I'm like, I'm going to try this. And it tastes so good because it has either agave in it or some type of sweetener in it that's natural. And I'm like, I feel like I'm doing the very best for my body when I read or heard about bifidus and vitamin C coming together. And then I find a product in the store. It's another synchronicity in my life. Like, how did I find that? Vitamin C. I've never seen that in a probiotic formula ever in yogurt or kefir, which is the jar. Look for those type of things. And if you don't find kefir with vitamin C, how about just taking vitamin C every day and with your yogurt or your kefir to enhance the performance? Why? Because your microbiome is your army in your body. And when you take all these drugs that Dr. Ardis just explained have all these side effects, here's the thing. The reason you have side effects because you destroy your microbiome. All pharmaceutical drugs, I don't care if it's aspirin, it throws your microbiome off balance. So it's like going in and wiping out half of your military force. It's like the United States saying, we're going to just retire 50% or 25% of our military, and then you get attacked by the enemy, whoever that is in their mind. And so now your army, there's no defense for your enemy comes in. You have very little defense. There's more fungus coming in. There's more bacteria coming in. I'm not going to say viruses because that viruses are a strange element that have been way overemphasized. We don't know what viruses really are at this point. Actually, they're side effect. Viruses, in my understanding, in my study over these years, viruses are a side effect of all the detoxing that your body does every day through the years, all the way. And then the side effects of the particles that come off from the detox, from the pollution, they call those viruses because they become part of the parasitic family. And then the government wants to produce more of those little critters to scare us into taking more of the jab. So anyway, I digress a little. Vitamin C. Now, I want to talk about tapping a little bit more because remember the signals, as Dr. Ardis pointed out, the signals to our brain, cortisol hormones, our nerve cells are all involved in the inflammation and the pain that we're feeling in our body. So if we can control it in any way, then you're going to reduce the inflammation. And then practicing things like vitamin C and kefir and more water and exercise. I like to do yoga is my go-to every day, every morning. My joint rolling is my meditation in the bed in the morning. I'm doing rolling my joints, and then I get my meditation book, and then I'm breathing. So if you do all those things and practice tapping, EFT, which is something that I offer on my website with you if you are struggling in any way and you need more books. My website, yourholisticlifecoach.com. I don't know where the M went to on that. Too many letters. If you need help with your routine for managing your pain, you can go to my website. I have a 6-week program to partner with me and help you develop a tapping routine, yoga, whatever your lifestyle can fit in. Excuse me. So tapping involves touching the body and your meridian and activating your meridians, the signals in your chakras, your wheel centers, your energy centers. The joint rolling we did this morning was just activating the cosmic energy in your body to connect to the universe that you're already connected to. But when you take these fingers, these very potent energy healing tentacles, and you tap into, even though I have this pain in my body, I love myself. A lot of pain, especially when you look at drug addicts on the streets, they don't have self-love. You would not be participating in the big pharma plan to destroy your body if you had self-love. So the beginning of EFT is I love myself. Even though I have this pain in my body and I'm so angry and I'm so upset and I don't want to forgive anybody and I hate my brother, I hate my sister, I love myself. That is a huge shift in the energy of your body when you say, or even if you can't say I love myself, I'm going to try and love myself more. I'm going to work on loving myself more. This is the beginning of emotional freedom techniques, is tapping into your small intestine meridian, which goes all the way to your small intestine when you look at the inner world. And German New Medicine chart here, that's a whole college education. When you start that out, that's the beginning of pain relief, because you're becoming conscious. You're raising your consciousness about what's really driving the inflammation and the imbalance in your body. Then once you tap into this side and promote love for yourself, you go into this pain in my body. I recognize it. I honor it. All these points are meridian points that acupuncture physicians use to tap into, shift the energy. I love myself. I love myself. I recognize this pain. I honor this pain. I'm grateful for this pain. I really appreciate this pain to wake me up to love myself more and to tap into what I really need in this world. More self-love, more self-love. And then head. And then you pause and say, breathe more oxygen, grab your wrist and say, peace, or shalom, peace. And you keep that round of tapping up. I think this pain may have to do with the fact that my boyfriend left me. I think this pain may have to do with my dad divorced my mom many years ago, and I'm still holding that stuff in here. That's what I had to go through personally to get rid of a pain on my right side. I had to go back to the point of my dad divorcing my mom and abandoning us. He didn't abandon us physically, because I had my dad and this man in my life all throughout my life, even though he married a third wife. It's like I was always in touch with him in emotionally, wisdom. And so that's the process that I have gone through to be pain-free most of the time. Most of the time, I'd say there are things come up when you have grandchildren. It's like emotions stir up, but then you have to learn how to control emotions. I'm letting go. And when you have your adult children connect with these women who are narcissists, it's like, here we go again. Oh my goodness. And it's like it's a lesson. It's a great tool. It's a great lesson when your adult children hook up with women who bring this strange energy into your life, and you have to learn how to respond and not react, because their history, the women in their life and their history, once you know that, you have to just be patient and forgiving and just stay away, set boundaries. That's what I do. So now breathing into my single life right now. I'm actually preparing for my king to come. I don't know who it's going to be. I just said I'm going to get in preparation for my king to attract the man that I really need and want at this time in my life. I'm going to attract him by being my very best. So we want to respond to the pain in as much a natural way as possible, because as Dr. Ardis has said, you're going to have side effects. If you choose the big pharma drug route, you're going to be dealing with more symptoms. And as I have seen in my family, my former spouse, the father of my 2 adult children, he is huge, obese, and on 5 medications. It's like, more power to you, because he trusts his doctor. He really does. And he told me that throughout our marriage. Every time I was trying to suggest something natural, you silly girl, he would say, I trust my doctor. I said, okay. And then my frustration built on my right side from my father leaving me. All of that plays into your pain. You just, it's amazing how the body carries memory, and you have to let go of it. That's what EFT helps you do. It helps you let go of all that memory that offended you, that hurt you, that bruised you, and you come out of your childish ways. I'm coming out of my childish way. You tap in. I'm letting go of all these childish emotions. So I hope this has been helpful to you. And I want to promote my dad's book a little bit. It's Sherman J. Howard, Football and Beyond. I got a call yesterday from a City Books, and I get calls all the time. I don't even answer the phone anymore. Leave me alone. From people wanting to promote my book, my 2 books mainly, From Fear to Faith in the Master Design, and then my dad's book, which is out of print right now. And they found it, and they're like, oh. And this woman read me a review that somebody gave after they recently read it, and it almost brought me to tears, because I realized the impact that this man had on his students, on his family, on so many things in life, that it's worth promoting his book again. And you can get his book at my website, yourholisticlifecoach.com, and by sending a cash app of $20 to me, and with your email address. All you have to do, if you're interested in learning about the legend of my dad, who played pro football and was an athlete, which is who made me today. He lived to be 95 years old, left in 2019, right before the pandemic horror. He got out of here. And I am an athlete because of him, because from childhood, my dad had me and my 2 sisters in the YMCA. All our childhood life, we were at the YMCA, swimming, gymnastics, roller skating, you name it. In Chicago, we did everything, athletic, riding our bikes. So today at 71, I'm a yogi. I walk, I ride bikes, I walk. I do everything physical to help balance this body. No drugs, no drugs, no drugs. I refuse to take any drugs. Even if it's prescribed, I would just look at it and go, that's interesting. And then I like to read the side effects if a doctor were to give me a prescription. And I did this for my dad for so long that I learned more and more about side effects. I would read it and go, interesting. And then in the trash it goes. And then I would do research to find most of the research I don't have to do anymore. I realize vitamin D, sunshine, walking, moving the body, vitamin C, lots and lots of vitamin C will almost do the trick for any inflammation. Try it. It really does help work. And then things like peppermint oil, essential oils. I have a little thing in my purse, a roller, that if I get a headache at any time, I pull that roller, I roll vitamin C and lavender across my head and the back of my neck, boom, pain's gone. So these are some of the responses you can have to your inflammation that is sending you a message that you're out of balance. You need to love yourself more. It's really usually about more love, and not reacting to life, but responding to life with more love for yourself and others. The monks showed us what to do. They walked over 2,000 miles for 111 days. They came here as Prince of Peace, the Messiah mind, and said, this is what we need to focus on in 2026. Mindfulness, breath work, and peaceful responses to life. Loving kindness, compassion. That's the message of the monks at the beginning of 2026 when their peace walk ended. Mindfulness, breath work every day, and responding with loving kindness. So I want to thank all of you for being here with me. Okay, that's from our Dr. Amani. Thank you for sharing and showing up. And progressively yourself. I use wormwood, clove, and black walnut in my enema formula. You go, whoever that is. Progressive Your Health 60. Yes, yeah, I love it. Woo! Enemas I do an enema once a month with Dr. Wolf's fumic acid, whatever, organic coffee. Once a month is enough for me. If I do it more than once a month, I get out of bounds. My colon gets out of balance. But once a month, and then I have to kind of rest for a day after that because it just disrupts the balance of my microbiome. But you get back in the balance after you clean it out. It's like a house, when you do house cleaning. I had a house cleaning business for almost 10 years. Once you clean out the house, you bring in your essential oil, your and incense, and you spray this, and you bring in the music and all that. But you got to clean that house out. And what she or he, I don't know if that's she or he, what they're doing there is getting rid of the parasites, because those parasites are in food and they come in and they sneak in there. And my sister, yes, welcome. Yes, thank you. Okay. Yeah, my sister. Mwah, I love my sisters. You are stars. You are stars when you are loving your body more, because you are getting into alignment with the Creator's love and purpose in your life. You cannot walk around in this temple and not give it more love and attention. Okay, we've got Kimya. Hi, Kimya. Thank you for joining us. Excellent. We must rise above it all. Rise above the mafia. I want to say the mafia. I just call it the mafia. Big Pharma is just one big mafia. Kimya, let love reign. Shalom. Stay in peace and love. Thank us. That's what the walk for peace was all about. To remind us to stay in peace and love with yourself first. When you're doing your deep breathing, that's love. That's just self-love. And don't let anybody interrupt that love process, because that's when the pain comes. When you start paying more attention to other people instead of yourself, when you're not supplying your own needs, instead of letting love reign and peace. Yeah, we have to be aware of the mafia influence around us. And Dr. Ardis just described what that influence is. A company that is the biggest lobbyist in our government, Big Pharma, biggest lobby. Until we get rid of some of the lobbyist activity, we're going to have a chaotic, corrupt government. There's just no way around, because they're paying our people who we elect to go in there. They end up taking money from Big Pharma and whoever else corporation wants to control them. So until we get rid of lobbyists, in my opinion, we're going to always have a corrupt system, government, whatever, in Washington, D.C. So guess what? It's us to govern ourselves, raise your sovereignty, and leave those people in Washington. That's a sideshow, a distraction. The wars, all that's a distraction. Concentrate here on us. Now, here's my Cash App. Again, if you would like to get a book, my dad's book, Sherman Howard, amazing man, Or if you order my dance book, I'll send you Vegetable Soup for Women along with that, another book that I wrote with 9 other people. And if you have benefited in any way, if you've gotten any love benefit, you can send me a Cash App as a donation. I don't get monetized on this channel. I don't even think I want to be monetized, because once you're monetized, they start controlling what you put out. Oh, we're gonna demonetize you because you showed this truth, basically. So here I am. If you want to donate, I welcome donations. That's my Cash App. And please do like and subscribe so we can send out more truth and more information for you to love yourself. This channel is all about tiny house village that will help you reduce the stress in your life and love yourself more and take charge of your health. That's what we're all about here. So thank you all so much for gathering with me today to learn this about our bodies and pain and all that. Vitamin C is so key. Vitamin D. The C and the D. Remember, the C and the D are your first go-to for pain. Don't reach for the medicine cabinet. C and D. Have I gotten enough sun today? Have I taken enough vitamin C? Just start there and you might be surprised. And then again, do some tapping. Just tap all over your body right here in the middle of your, this is another relief for pain. It helps move the blood throughout your body more to get rid of inflammation. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Stay in peace. And to all my yogi friends out there, Satnam, Namaste, Aho, Native and Indigenous brothers and sisters and friends, stay in peace and Ashe. Oh, beautiful greetings for you. Love, sending out love to all of you. Have a great day. And of course, go out and get some sun, please. I love you.
Anuki madras with mad push aloud. On the bed book bad the cool type of gal. The cooks a hopper a car papa R. Penenza put the cook on us order. Go who's to get a limit to order a zempa haka kept a rag. A derrick a hen. Tashia was you up with South Kamun. The fear would a kabili a calat nun. I kick a geek of mucho with part to sad. I knew get a horse, look at Papa garage. I knew I went for good Papa lag. I knew I got but you I could get that. I knew could do the culture ain't yet. I knew could do la mother was part of that. I do free Papa that the guy was I knew but now that super do I got no horse. The cook could put it in her. Yeah, the cook could put in her. In her, could was in this order, could do the cook was cut on in her. The cook could put it in her. The cook could put in her. I knew I did the cow pass a cat. The cat knew I knew how which part and cat. I knew I did my name at that tat. The guy my drives pot not to bat. We park away cap and dip a car. Pass it as there who's a hat, who's a patat. Sika boom a cat, they get a boy. To a pan at the mat, leave a boy. And knew so ooh, pass a lawfully had they on. I knew I did it and coop about to. And knew I did it, but to hear the command. And knew I did it, but to hear command. Zaza tattoo, na took a kamunu, rambo, ampo, I'm a at hade, rambo, apu, I'm a at for bato, Zazu, na took a lahaj nu, and nu I did for bato, cook, so hapa, a car, papa, R, penenza, put, na kukalana.